Close your eyes and imagine a mirror, not just any mirror, but one that reflects not only your appearance, but the deepest corners of your mind and heart. Every thought, every feeling, every hidden desire is revealed with clarity. At first, the reflection may feel uncomfortable, showing aspects of yourself you've ignored, denied, or feared. But in that discomfort lies the greatest gift: self-awareness, the power to understand yourself, to heal, and to grow. This is the story of Rohan, a man who had always lived on autopilot. He followed routines, made decisions based on what he thought others expected, and avoided confronting uncomfortable truths about himself. Life was a series of obligations and distractions, leaving little time to reflect. Yet beneath his surface, a quiet unease persisted, a feeling that he was drifting through life rather than truly living it. One evening, while sitting in a quiet park, Rohan noticed a pond. The water was still, reflecting the sky, the trees, and his own image. As he stared, he felt a strange sensation, almost as if the pond were not just reflecting his face, but his inner state. Thoughts and feelings he had pushed aside began surfacing: resentment toward colleagues, regret for neglected passions, fear of pursuing his true dreams. The reflection was startling, but it was also illuminating. He realized that he had avoided looking inward, afraid of what he might find. Self-awareness begins with observation. It is the ability to see yourself honestly, without judgment or denial. Rohan began to reflect on his actions, choices, and emotions. He asked himself questions he had never dared to ask. Why do I react this way? What am I afraid of? What do I truly want from life? Each question was like a key, unlocking hidden corners of his mind and heart. Consider Mira, a young woman who constantly felt frustrated with her career and relationships. For years, she blamed external circumstances for her unhappiness. One day, she started journaling her thoughts and emotions, confronting patterns she had ignored. She realized that much of her frustration came from her own fears, expectations, and resistance to change. By seeing herself clearly, she gained the insight needed to make deliberate choices that aligned with her values. A quote from Carl Jung illuminates this truth: "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens." Self-awareness is awakening. It is recognizing that the world around you is not separate from your inner state. Your thoughts shape your reality. Your emotions color your experiences, and your actions are born from your self-perception. Rohan took this lesson to heart. He began practicing daily reflection, reviewing his day, observing his reactions, and identifying patterns. Slowly, he discovered triggers that caused stress, habits that limited his growth, and desires he had ignored. Each insight was empowering, giving him the ability to choose differently, act intentionally, and live with greater authenticity. Self-awareness also fosters empathy. By understanding your own thoughts, emotions, and motivations, you develop the capacity to understand others. Rohan noticed that as he became more aware of his own fears and insecurities, he also became more compassionate toward colleagues, friends, and family. Misunderstandings were easier to resolve, and relationships became deeper and more meaningful. Consider Arjun, who had a history of conflict with his younger brother. Both were quick to anger, often blaming each other. Through reflection, Arjun recognized his own tendencies to escalate situations and his fear of vulnerability. With this insight, he approached his brother with patience and openness. The result was not only reconciliation, but a bond stronger than before. Self-awareness had allowed him to change his actions, thereby transforming his relationships. Self-awareness requires courage. It is tempting to avoid looking inward, fearing the truths we might uncover. Yet, true growth is impossible without honest reflection. Imagine a garden where weeds are ignored. The plants struggle to thrive. The same applies to the mind. Ignored thoughts, unacknowledged emotions, and unexamined habits become weeds that hinder your growth. Self-awareness is the careful tending of your inner garden, pulling out what no longer serves you and nurturing what does. Rohan faced uncomfortable truths about his procrastination, avoidance, and self-doubt. At first, he felt shame and frustration, but he reminded himself that awareness is not blame, it is understanding. By recognizing these patterns, he could begin to make conscious choices, replacing limiting habits with empowering ones. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, reflect on the mirror of self-awareness. What patterns or habits in your life may be holding you back? Which emotions or fears have you avoided confronting? Visualize looking into a mirror that reflects your true self, observing without judgment and welcoming clarity and insight. Your call to action for tomorrow: spend 15 to 20 minutes in quiet reflection, journaling your thoughts, emotions, and insights. Identify one recurring pattern or fear and consider small steps you can take to address it consciously. Practice mindfulness throughout the day, observing your reactions, thoughts, and feelings without judgment. Picture your life as a room of mirrors. Each mirror reflects a part of you, some aspects you recognize, others hidden in shadows. With awareness, you begin to see the whole reflection, understanding how your inner state shapes your world. Every moment of reflection is a step toward clarity, authenticity, and freedom. Breathe deeply, feel the illumination of self-awareness filling your mind and heart. Rest gently, knowing that understanding yourself is the foundation for growth, peace, and meaningful action. Please subscribe for motivational videos like this, and when you awaken tomorrow, carry this truth. The mirror of self-awareness reflects not only who you are, but who you can become. Look honestly, embrace what you see, and let insight guide you toward a life of authenticity, purpose, and joy.